On this episode of the Adventurous Joe Show, we're going to be talking about the mail-order bride service. Is it the real deal for some or the biggest con job on the planet? You're about to find out the answer to all that and more on this episode of the Adventurous Joe Show, and it starts right now. Welcome, my adventurous ones, to an all-new episode of the Adventurous Joe Show, brought to you by T.A.J.S merch. If you want to get in on some awesome video game merchandise type t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more, follow the link down in the description to scrimgear.com/Tara and let them know yours truly, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, sent you. And speaking of which, I am the one and only Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, your host of this fabulous little show. And this episode, we're going to be talking about the mail-order bride service. Is it the real deal or a big, fat, phony con job? There are so many of them out there now. I mean, literally, there are so many out there right now. There's one that you can get a Russian mail-order bride. There's one you can get an Asian mail-order bride. There's one that you can get a European mail-order bride. Mother. And there's even ones for all you Brazilian guys Brazilian people out there that, you know, like to get a little Brazilian women on the side. You know what I mean? Either way. I'm sorry, that was just poor taste. I'm evil today. Either way, the service has been going on for the longest time. Now, in some cases, it's a good thing. It turns out to be the real deal. The woman matches the picture. Other cases, it's not so much. Okay? For instance, there was a guy over in Oklahoma that went through a mail-order bride service. And you know what? He never got his mail-order bride. He never got to see her whatsoever. He got to see her on video. He got on video chat. He got to see her through pictures. But that's it. Every time it came time for her to come, she would make up some kind of an excuse that she didn't have enough money to get her visa, and, you know, so he would give her the money. Okay? Then, after he gave her the money, she would say, I'm sorry, I still can't come, you know, I can't come until this certain date in this certain month. And this guy went through absolute hell. He spent over $10,000 alone on this woman just to do things for her and stuff. Now, another woman right here in Michigan also did the same thing and stuff. And was sending money to some guy over in Nigeria and shit. It's like, what is wrong with this stuff? These people out there are desperate, they're lonely, they want some companionship. They want a nice woman or a nice man in their life and stuff. These people that run these damn places are running a con job. Some of them are running the biggest con job on the planet. Now, yours truly, I'm a fine example of this little adventure, because back in my heyday, my younger years, I was only about 22, 23, and I started looking into moving on away from my ex and everything, and, you know, getting a brand new start on life and everything. So I figured I would get a mail order bride. You know, I met this nice young woman on there and stuff like that. We talked and so on and so forth. And next thing I know, I was shelling out, you know, trying to shell out money to her and stuff like that. To help her come here and, you know, come to the U.S. and everything. I myself have fallen into this victim they call it somewhat of a victimless crime, but it's not a victimless crime, I'll tell you that right now. When you're shelling out money and not getting nothing in return, that's not a victimless crime. But in some cases, authorities see it as, you're just being conned. Just don't give them any more money and stuff like that. Stop communicating with them and so on and so forth. Well, it's kind of hard for people out there that are very lonely and don't have no one special in their lives. They can't find that special someone. Well, that's how it goes for these people. They get into these mail-order bride services. And Anastasia Date, I'll tell you right now, Anastasia Date is one of the worst places you would want to go, because for some freaking reason you get contacted by one woman, you will suddenly be contacted by 6, 7, 8, 9, all from Russia. All are gonna say the same thing in their letters, that they love you and stuff like that. That's the biggest con job on the planet right there. Now, in some cases, mail-order bride services have panned out. For instance, there was a guy over in Kentucky, I believe it was, that there was a story a while back. He got himself an Asian bride. Okay, one of those places like Asian Date. Okay, and got himself a mail-order bride from there and stuff. She was the real deal and everything, and they ended up having 4 kids together. How you like that shit? And they're still together to this day. Now, some cases, there are some that will just play this little game with your heart and stuff, and not want to do the whole, I want to get married to you thing and stuff. I want to come to the U.S. and live with you and have kids with you and everything else. And those are the ones that are pulling the con job. You really don't want to be a part of those kind of things. But for some people, it's not that simple. When you're very alone, I meant seriously. Yours truly's been single for 18 years now. Going on 19 years. How do you like that shit? It's the longest time for someone to be single when they have never actually been married, engaged, divorced, or even widowed. I mean, seriously. My mother waited 8.5 years of her life before she actually remarried, and which was, she got married to the guy who was her high school sweetie. Seriously, he was her high school sweetie. And she got married to him, 8.5 years after my dad died and stuff like that. My real dad, which I never got to know. Okay? Now, in some cases, yes, she was very lonely. She didn't want to date anyone else. She was always too concerned about her 2 children. She wanted to make sure my sister and I always had everything we needed in life and stuff. And so on and so forth. Okay? So, it's not exactly a simple thing for lonely people these days to freaking just go find someone new. Okay? They try online dating through places like Zeus, Match.com, eHarmony, and stuff like that. Sometimes it pans out. Sometimes it never does a damn thing for you. Okay? But when it comes to the mail-order bride service, there's a huge risk involved in these things. Because not only do you got to go through visas, money that's got to be shelled out for these visas, and so on and so forth, but you also have to sign immigration type papers and all that other shit. It's just a chaotic mess waiting to happen. And yes, like I said, back in my younger year, I too was part of this little thing, and I got involved in it, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was shelling out money to nothing and getting nothing in return. I was never seeing this woman. She kept making excuses and excuses and excuses, and that's just how it goes with these mail-order bride services. When you do something like this, you take a huge risk with things. You take a huge risk with your life, your money, your well-being, your sanity, so to speak. So, it's up to you what you decide to do in life. Do you decide you want this mail-order bride to be the real deal? You want to continue to give her money? You want to continue living hearing the excuses of why she can't come because she didn't get her visa, even though you gave her the money for the visa and everything else in between. That's up to you. But don't be suckered into it. Now, in some cases, it's a good thing and it pans out. But in some other cases, it's just a big fat con job waiting to happen. They're just waiting to con you out of your hard-earned money till you got nothing left other than your house to put up for sale or something to make that money happen. Then where are you going to live? Either way, what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think the mail-order bride service is the real deal or a big fat con job like it's been portrayed by many? Let's discuss it down in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you're new, leave your comments, and like I said, opinions are like assholes, everyone. Everybody will have one, okay? Everybody's going to have a different opinion about life or what you say or what others say and stuff like that. Just ignore them on their bullshit, and that's it. Don't fight amongst yourselves. Don't start calling each other dick brain, dickless brain, some stupid shit, because we won't tolerate it on here, okay? Fighting amongst the comments is not a big thing for us here. We don't care for that, because it takes time to go through these comments and sift through what we want to answer, what we don't want to answer, who's being vulgar about something, you know? Let's keep it clean, people. Have a nice, clean discussion about what's happening. Either way, that's it for this episode of the Adventurous Joe Show. Brought to you by scrimgear.com. If you want to get in on some awesome merchandise from our very own lovely Tara Babcock, Miss T. Babcock, as she likes to be called a lot. It's funny. Either way, you want to get in on some of her own fashionable merchandise, such as tank tops, my personal recommendation, get the Rage t-shirt. Love that Rage t-shirt. Or the Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker or the Rage t-shirt. Either way, fantastic merchandise. And when you do get some of her merchandise, make sure to go on her Twitter page and put on there, or take a photo first, of what you wear in the merchandise, and saying, #Tara Babcock merch. She'll be happy to hear that you like her product, and we too will be happy to hear that you like it as well, because she does fantastic work on it. She comes up with some great ideas for everything. And like I said, personal favorites of mine are the Rage t-shirt and the Heartbreaker. Check them out. Link is down in the description if you want to buy any of the merchandise. And make sure to let them know yours truly, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, sent you. And that's it. We will see you all next time on the next new Adventurous Joe Show, which will be our 20th episode. Woo! 20th episode of the all-new, all-different Adventurous Joe Show. What will we do with it? Well, we'll probably be answering some of your comments and questions and stuff from previous episodes, or some of your questions and comments you sent us through Twitter, Facebook, and so on and so forth. You'll just have to wait and see. We'll announce it on Twitter, like always, at KingAtlas1977. We'll let you know what our next episode of the Adventurous Joe Show is going to be about, and you'll know too. And make sure you hit the little bell icon in the subscriber button so you don't get left out on missing any episodes we put up of the Adventurous Joe Show, our review shows, or anything else in between. That's it. You'll be the first ones to see them once they hit the airwaves. And that's it. Peace out. May the Force be with every single one of you. And we'll see you all next time on the next all-new, all-different Adventurous Joe Show.